Hey everybody, I'm Kev here with Shawn, the bad dinner guest.
What up, dude?
And tonight we're going balls deep into a fantasy mock draft. We got a 12-team league. Unlike last time when it was me and 8 robots, we have all humans in here. So it's going to get pretty fun. Shawn and I definitely have much different strategies for fantasy football. And we start in how much? What's the clock, Shawn?
We are looking at 3 minutes left.
Oh, T-minus.
Yep. Kev has the 7th pick, and I have the 12th pick of 12.
Which is interesting because we got in this early enough to pick our own spots. Shawn picked the last spot, which honestly is where I would go as well. Maybe not 12. I prefer to be around like 10 or 11, though. I like basically every time I step up to draft, I make my decision that first time through for both players. And that way, when it comes back to me that second time, I have already my 2 or 3 guys deciding, because I just was making the decision only 5 minutes ago.
Right.
So,
yeah, I like being the last man to go.
I don't love the back-to-back, though, because you do sit for a while. I like a few picks moving in between me. So I went with 7 mainly because that's about where I'm going to sit in a couple of my leagues. There was at least one league where I got to the semifinals, so I'm going to have a couple of high picks, but I'm going to be middle of the pack in a handful of leagues, and our bad dinner guest league is going to be random. So I went with 7 because that is an awkward spot to pick. So put myself in a weird position for you folks so we can see what that's like. We got 1 minute 45 and counting. Shawn, so with that 12th pick, you got back-to-backs. Are you going to go?
Just kind of have to wait to see, man.
Position-wise, though, what are you thinking? You've got 2 picks back-to-back, so you have that benefit.
I might change it up because I like to play with strategies year by year. This year, I'm probably going to roll, depending on who's on the board, I'm probably going to go back-to-back backs.
Back-to-backs?
Yeah, probably.
Smacking backs.
Probably so, man, because I can tell you a couple players I definitely want, I know will be available come around 4 to 7. So, I'm experiment a little bit. This is what it's all about, man, just testing the waters, seeing what people were rocking with this year.
Yeah, man, experimentation. That's what life is about. I've heard that. I've heard that a handful of times. So I'm pretty much at a spot where I'm going to take what's best.
Right.
Number 7.
You'll get a solid pick.
Not thrilled about where I'm at, but it's a good challenge.
In the early rounds, I think you'll make out middle of the pack.
Oh, Slick Willie always makes out, so the Slick Willies will be fine. Yeah, but it's an interesting challenge, and we are down to 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah,
so it's about time. About time to get on that mock draft. And jump on over here. Gotta get it. I am interested to see what's going to happen with actually real people in here this time. It was difficult with all the bots. I was making some real rookie mistakes. I had 3 guys on the same bye week.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, there were 2 instances where I was talking through my thought process, and the bots in front of me went so quickly. I got put on auto draft because you only have a minute. That's the other thing to keep in mind.
Well, that's why it's always good. I mean, it's tough when you're with bots, man. But if you're with all people, you have a little bit of time to study and kind of get a few picks lined up.
Oh, you end up with a lot of time. We actually, in one of my leagues, we are voting on whether or not to drop the pick time from 90 seconds to 60 because we find that our draft takes too long. Again, that's a 14 team. That bad boy's a marathon.
So this draft begins in 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Which is good because I'm still not connected over here.
Oh, for real?
It's a good thing we have the audio because anybody watching this might think it has frozen. I'm a little worried that it might have froze myself. So I might be on auto pick. We'll see. I think we're good. Here it is. Dun, 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 dun.
It's popping it.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. That's not how the song goes, but you get the idea. Woo! Number 7, I'm looking at DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm gonna give that a nope. But what do you think about Zeke Elliott at number 6? Because that blew me away when I saw that.
Dude,
this
I
week.
honestly don't argue it, man. Part of me wanted to go a little early just so I could try to swoop him. But he'll be gone by 12.
Okay, so here's my perspective on it. My very first year playing fantasy football as a freshman in college, and Adrian Peterson happened to be a rookie that season. I got Adrian Peterson in the 4th round and got some shit for it even at times.
Dude, I got screwed that year because I was going to pick him, and I let somebody talk me out of it because he was a rookie, and he went on to have a fucking season, dude, and I was so butthurt.
And, for instance, also Todd Gurley right in front of him was able to get him in the 5th round in some drafts.
Yeah.
We've got Zeke already top 10 in a draft board where you're going to find a lot of starting running backs have slid. You're going to be drafting every day starting running backs in round 4 or 5, maybe. Might be different now with actual humans involved.
Well, I see a lot of backs in this top 12, man. They got Le'Veon Bell at 12, but nobody's picking him. He's suspended, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want that bum on my team.
Somebody will take him at some point.
Yeah, but he ain't going first round. It's not happening, man.
He might, dude.
You think so? I hope somebody does.
We got it. We now have someone that will be on auto draft because he just left. Love it. Right. Oh, Antonio Brown, number 1. Now, see, that upsets me because I was able to get Antonio Brown in that 7 or 8 spot 3 out of 4 drafts last year. And that's not going to happen. I'm not going to get that lucky again this year.
No, dude, he had too good of a year last year. He'll go quick. He'll probably be the first receiver taking the most drafts.
He was just first overall.
Yeah, well, that dude's an auto pick, though.
But that's that tells you that ESPN has him projected as number 1. A lot of people will how many years do you remember a wide receiver being 1 and 2? It's almost always the first 4 or 5 fantasy players are almost always running backs. Right. And this year, 3 out of the top 5 are wide receivers. And 5 out of the top 10, it's a half. It's a draw between backs and receivers, and that blows my mind. Now, I might break your heart here, Shawn. We'll see. We'll see who's up on the board still, but I might steal your sunshine over here in the first round.
You probably will.
Because I think I may take someone that you think may slide. Not today.
And they're already in the top
3 receivers. That's what I'm saying. We got 1 auto pick, but 2 real people, and it's been 3 receivers. That's blowing my mind right now.
Are we sure those are man? Because I find it hard to believe that those 3 came off the board first with people. People that stupid? Is that really?
Are you out of the loop? Are you out of touch? Are you still playing 2016 fantasy football or 2015 fantasy football?
Must be, man. This is crazy.
There are 2 sides to it. Cam Newton just went 4.
So you know that guy's real. Whoever picked him is real.
I'm real.
Oh.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Damn it.
Shit, how do I not take AP here, though? Check that out. Zeke is projected more points than Adrian Peterson this year. So is Todd Gurley, for that fact. Or do I go Devontae? You're going to go Dez and Gronk. That's where you're going.
No.
You're gross.
You already know I rolled it.
I'm taking Gronk at 7. Just boom. Give me that extra wide receiver. I might do it. I might see what can happen if you take. That could be a fun experiment for me. Who goes? AP?
Yeah.
He's 11, 247 though out of your tight end. I'm going to mess around and do this because I've never even played with the idea before of I've always just said let Gronk be. Because everybody, all the tight ends beneath him end up being equal. But we'll see what I can do now that I have a potential to start 4 wide receivers in my lineup.
Fuck.
It's looking like a pass-heavy league.
Yeah,
Ooh, Dez. See, Dez was the guy I was thinking about taking, but I also thought more running backs would be off the board. The fact that they're slipping, dude, I am sitting pretty. I'm going to be able to get a first-round talent running back with my second-round pick. You will also be able to do that, but you were going to be able to do that almost regardless since you have the back-to-backs.
I might switch up my strategy just a bit.
Ooh. Are you going Ryan Fitzpatrick in the second round?
Oh, you know, dude.
I know it. You can't – don't draft on beard bias.
This cocksucker. Some of these motherfuckers, dude. All right, let's see here.
Hey, man, they're doing the same thing we're doing. They're playing with some strategies.
Still my sunshine.
Just flicking it, seeing what happens when you do that. Tugging on it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to distract this dude. There's some boner over here taking his sweet time on his draft pick. Who's that? Oh, Amari, I knew you would do it. You can't help it. Can't help myself. I love the Raiders and nobody else. Here's David Carr, second round. It's just the same. Oh, A.J. Green.
My receiver core already off the rip, dude. Look at him go. Look at him go.
Look at him go.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Who is this? Team Essa. S, yeah. Oh, it's Aposto. So what are you thinking for you got? See, now you're in fantasy limbo. You might want to go grab a beer, Shawn, because you're going to be here for a while now.
Look at this guy.
He's
so awesome.
And that's why we have a producer.
Right? Takes care of us over here.
For the beer. Also the chips.
Make sure we never go without. Man.
So far, Shawn has a great wide receiving core, and I have the number one tight end, and is really the only tight end. It's him and then everybody else. So it's like I have a third wide receiver now most weeks, as long as he stays healthy. I've got my second pick coming up here. Shawn is going to be waiting about 20 picks or so before it's his turn again.
It's all good, though. It'll be worth it. There'll still be some players on the board, man.
He's got enough time
to think about it.
To rub that soft one out that he's got from Mari and AJ.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of this.
Right. He's over here doing his best Warriors impression, man. Just clanking beers. Shawn.
Yes, sir.
Come out to play. Oh, just radio etiquette is a new thing over here, guys. Just forgive us.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not used to being a professional, dude.
We're working on it.
It's a learning.
Waiting on me, huh? Let's see.
Where you going? Who you getting? You gonna take him, dude?
I'm not gonna take Bell. I want to take Bell, but I'm not gonna do it.
That'd be kind of gross, man.
I'm not gonna go Doug Martin, Brandon Marshall, Thomas Ross. See, I feel like I am on an island of misfit toys right here. This is all. I don't want any of this. I might take Mark Ingram because he was surprisingly decent, or not? Yeah, surprisingly decent for me last year. I'm running out of time.
Do it to yourself.
I'm doing it. He was steady last time. Ooh, I almost forgot that extra button. Draft that.
Gross.
Draft that.
Oh, dude, you took Le'Veon Bell, dude. No, you didn't. Never mind.
No, I took Mark.
Let's go after you.
There weren't a lot of receivers that I loved sitting right there, and
there's a lot of auto picks, man.
Well, what I am noticing is a lot of people, I guess, just wanted to see how the first round will play out because a lot of teams did just kind of leave after the first round. But that's fine. It's almost authentic. Towards the later rounds, things will speed up. I mean, you hit that middle hump normally.
Right.
Those mid rounds can be a real grind, so we won't have that situation.
Right.
But again, we're gonna see this through and go the whole way. So in my opinion, having half of them be bots, as long as we're on top of it, shouldn't be an issue. Because we got a lot of picks to go.
Yeah, we do.
I have to go receiver next. I'll probably go receiver here. I do regret making the choice that I made there with Ingram, but he didn't screw me over last year. He was a consistent starter that I could play, and there wasn't anybody else that jumped out of me. And because we have these auto picks, it's not really allowing the normal time to look through. And also on your real draft, you will have done your research.
Right.
We're not really coming into these things a little cold, but you know where I'm going. You already know.
Oh.
T.Y.
Kid show.
So the question now comes, you got your back-to-backs. You should actually be, if anyone should be happy about the auto picks, it should be you, because you might have been sitting, you might have had to stay the night just to finish the draft.
No shit, dude.
Can I stay the night tonight and for 2 weeks straight?
Shit. Man.
Team Unforgivable is on the clock. I'm hoping that Randall Cobb sticks around for you. He's gonna be there,
dude.
I'm hoping he's there for you come time pick 60 or so. He's gonna jump down.
I'm not really feeling this running back situation.
Shawn, you want that shady? Come on, what you got with it? You got Jonathan Stewart. Come on, Carlos Hyde. Nothing's jumping out at you.
No.
C.J. Anderson's gonna have a renaissance this year, man.
Oh, fuck him. He did me so dirty last year, man.
Yeah, he did. I don't think his mom would have played him on fantasy by the end of the season.
No.
Ooh, Team Clem. We might be on another auto pick, Shawn. So I hope you're ready. I know. I see what you're doing. You're gonna steal my boy Langford, aren't you?
I like him, dude. He did good for me last year.
Nate is gonna be pumped that you took his boy. I think he's going to have a great year. I want some Matt Forte action, though. Do you think you just want to go that route instead? Matt Forte and take the Jets to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
Just ask them.
Yeah, right.
Ask the Jets about that, man. They'll tell you.
Nobody trying to hear that.
Ryan Fitzpatrick and Matt Forte are the 1-2. That's better than Roethlisberger Bell. I'm telling you, man. You got to do it. You gotta do it.
Oh,
you got you down to that 5-4. Better get it. Did you get it? Are you up again? No time to celebrate. Jeremy Hill, really no time to celebrate. Ugh.
Yeah, he's one of the better fucking backs,
dude. No.
Oh, and they're both week 9. I made a
mistake. Rookie mistake.
Well, dude, I was trying to rush. Man.
I feel you, man. It's where you gotta be ready.
3 of my first 4 picks are buys on week 9.
Oh, you did it. See, last week I did it, and this time you did it. Now I feel good.
That's gross,
Randall Cobb's in my team.
These running backs were so shitty, man.
You fucked up, man. Lesson 1, guys. Check out your bye weeks. It's over here. On the screen, it is the very first column next to their name.
You know why? I think running backs are slipping now? Because a lot of teams are doing dual backs now.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say, man, like who a starter is going to be. You know
and I like it. Look at DeMarco Murray sitting here at 59.
Right.
That is an intriguing pick.
I almost picked him, dude, but last year I was not thrilled with him. But again, he's with a different team. But Tennessee's line is poopy.
Poop.
So I mean,
they're gonna be interesting. They're either gonna be really good on offense or just a really bad team overall. I could see them hovering close to 500. Whereas last year, the division leader hovered over 500. I could see where in the AFC South this year, the last place team is around 500. I really think all those teams got better. But yeah, if the Titans didn't figure out their offensive line, they're just going to have a lot of talent that can't get much done.
Right.
Emmanuel Sanders coming up. I already know where I'm going. Is it still? Oh yeah. Do it like a lady. Ooh. Ooh, wait a minute, though. Actually, I'm going to make you mad. So mad.
You know what you're doing. Yep, I knew it. I don't make me mad at all.
Mad. Actually, no. If I'm gonna have two people go on the same bye week, it's gonna be Raggedy Andy and Ty. A lot of people will give me some grief on this pick, taking a quarterback too early, maybe. But Andrew Luck 2 years ago, when he was right, got me to a championship game almost by himself with Moncrief, Dorsett, and T.Y. Hilton. And they have weapons at tight end. They never have a running back. They will never have a running back. Frank Gore. They have the ghost of Frank Gore in the backfield. But they could be lights out. Who did you get? Oh, you went with Walker at tight end, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So in hindsight, I regret taking Gronkowski round 1 already. This draft isn't over yet. I would have been just as happy, if not happier, with Walker on my team at that value. Because if you had not made the bye week mistake, you would have a contending team. I'm in line for a rough week 10 because my number 1 receiver and number 1 quarterback play on the same team. But I also have the benefit of their points doubling down for me every week.
That was just a random. If I didn't pick right then, I'd have been screwed.
What, Sterling Shepard?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, that's part of the game too, man. Sometimes you get in a spot where you think about it, and that is the downside to the back-to-backs is you don't have – if you don't make both decisions right away, you may run out of time.
Yeah.
So where you could maybe help yourself out is the player queue.
Yeah,
a lot of people like to use that option over here to have some backup plans. That way, if it does switch you to auto-draft, it at least auto-drafts the person that you have in that queue ready to go. Now, right here, I really, really want TJ Yeldon, but he's on the same bye week as Mark Ingram, so I can't get that done. And D'Angelo Williams is not going to play. He's not going to end up a starter. I don't trust Gordon, so I'm stuck taking Justin Forsett here, who I don't love, but I need to get that second starting running back in the mix. So, again, I like this team. I do not love it, though. This would not be a fantasy team I'd be excited about.
Me neither.
But
I'm geeked about my receiver core, though. My receiver core is sick nasty.
Well, it's about time to hit him with the flex.
I already did.
You already did. I didn't.
I'm
about to hit him with that flex, and you're going to be probably getting your boy – wow, Tom Brady off the board already. That must – even if that's an auto pick, that's a weird one. He's missing the first 4 weeks of the season. He's finally getting suspended for letting some air out of football, for knowing somebody let air out of footballs 2 years ago. So, yeah, because that makes a lot of sense. Used a lot of good taxpayer money for that, too. It's good. At least he didn't take it up to the Supreme Court like freaking baseball did over steroids. I know we're not on baseball right now, but I'm going to say it now loud and proud. Just let athletes use steroids. Who cares? If that's what they want to do, let them use steroids. It's entertainment.
I was just about to say that, dude. I mean, we pay them to entertain us.
They make a lot of money. If that's what they want to do, let it be. They're adults. Let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I think about that. Ooh, Alan Hearns, but that's another week 5 bye. Week 10. I really like to find somebody who's not with all my other bye weeks here. I could go to Shawn Jackson. Oh, that's tough. Josh Gordon, no way. Kevin White, no. I'm going to take Deshaun Jackson again. Almost because I'm just out of time. That extra 30 seconds really pays off in a draft. I've about set my max. I've got now 2 on draft or 2 on bye for week 9 and 2 on bye for week 10. So I'm giving myself a difficult playoff push, which is not ideal. If you're going to have these things happen, I guess it's better to have it happen in week 5 and 6 when you have plenty of time to bounce back.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just not loving the running backs this year. Like, what is it with, like, why does every running back just seem
You're on the clock, by the way.
to me, dude?
Because that's what we're playing with here. I mean, Rashad Jennings. Do not draft Rashad Jennings. And if you can, I would even say as your last pick in the draft, it's not. I have yet to see him be relevant. I don't know where these projections come from. I want to see what his stats last year actually were, because they had to be pretty bad. I had him on my bench, and I was in a couple of positions where I was forced to start him. He actually scored 154 points in fantasy football last year, and that blows my mind. I don't remember maybe one game where he got double digits. He was maybe going to be good for seven a night, which you don't want that if you're going to have to start that.
Right.
Where did my mouse go? Oh, no. All right, we're back. It's almost my turn. Where did you go with your last two picks, by the way?
I went
I saw you went
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr and
Chris Ivory.
Chris Ebony and Ivory. I like it.
Sir.
So Derek Carr. That's pretty cool. We were both in the same boat now, quarterback receiver wise. Gio Bernard, I don't really want to mess with because there's a definite tandem backfield there. Stephon Diggs. I don't love Diggs, but I love of all the people that are up here, he's the one that has a week 6 bye week. So I can't really go any other direction here for fear of just making myself. That would have given me 2 people on bye weeks in weeks 8, 9, and 10, and I really feel like that would just cripple me. I'd rather take somebody who's going to score maybe a few less points, but will at least be able to play. I'll at least be able to field a team. I won't be adding people from the waiver wire during my playoff run. That's what's important. Especially in a 12 or 14-team league, you're going to have slim pickings. If you're playing in a 10-team league, then you can probably get away with almost making a waiver wire addition to your starting lineup every week if that's what you need to do.
Right.
You just pick one guy, low man out. Just drop your worst player up to date and just add somebody. Kevin White. Lil White. So where are you going with this, Shawn? We got one more of me before you, but I'm at a crossroads here.
I'm at this point, all I have left to start is a defensive kicker, so I'm just kind of getting my bench stacked up. I already got me a running back who could play backup. I probably need another backup running back, another backup receiver. Probably need another backup running back, another backup receiver.
Do you draft backup tight ends?
I do.
Okay, yeah. To me, it depends on the board. I definitely have before. I won't always, though. Sometimes I really like to wait because you can get away then with having an extra running back or receiver in your bench. Like, for instance, my tight end doesn't have a bye week till week 9. So if Gronk stays healthy, I don't need a backup tight end for 8 weeks. So that's another bonus to drafting somebody like him, where if you have a guy that's a lock for his position, it can give you some wiggle room and go somewhere else with your bench players.
Right.
Jay Ajayi. I can never pronounce his name, but you worried at all about Arian Foster taking some of his carries?
Not too many of them. I think they're going to use Arian Foster more as of a receiving back. I don't think he'll be behind the line a whole lot.
I don't think he's going to play a full season.
Probably not.
I think he has had a unfortunate streak the last few years of just major injuries, and the position he plays takes a lot of punishment. I don't see him being a threat. I also don't like Miami as a team this year. I don't think they're going to do much. So this really was a guy who's going to split time or somebody who's definitely a backup. And so I took him. I think he's got a little bit higher potential. In hindsight, I'm seeing the player that I should have gone with. I'm going to wait till you make your 2 picks. He probably won't stay on the board anyway, but there was somebody. I'll show the audience who I should have picked probably right here. being as his partner in crime is injured right now.
Wait, how did I get on auto pick, dude?
Did you miss a pick?
No.
Did you not pick it in time?
Fucking bitch.
That's the other thing. Be careful of. You got to click your player and then this draft player over here. That's screwed me over several times. I don't know if you got to it in time or something.
I had one player down here and it just fucking went nuts on me, dude. God damn it.
Well, so who'd you get?
Fucking Austin Safarian-Jenkins and Vincent Jackson, dude. Both Tampa Bay players.
Ooh.
Dude.
Ooh, that's a rough one, man. You're going to be making a trade or a drop. It's a good thing this isn't your team, but this is something that you could run into in a real draft. So you're going to have to adjust your strategy on the fly. I like it. If this were your real team, I'd like it too, because then I'd have it up on you just to being real. You are salty over there. That makes me like it more. I kind of want to go – I can't go homer and take Philip Dorsett, but there's part of me that wants to. Mike Wallace could be good in Baltimore. It'd be nice when they have when they have somebody to stretch the field like he can. Kind of changes things for them. Corey Coleman, Bilal Pyle. I'm gonna go Trav Benjamin. Let's give it a shot. Giving it a shot. Got some receivers now. I'm not in love with this team, but I could take this team to the playoffs, I bet, in a 12-team league. I know you're really not in love with your team right now, but you still would have enough to be happy about it. Just because you got your boys.
Yeah.
The Raiders. You're salty over there. It's hard to keep the air alive when you're angry. But
yeah, I'm just frustrated, man. I mean, it'll happen, people. I mean, it happens all the time. It sucks worse when, like, you didn't really do anything. You know what I mean? It's just kind of bit me in the ass. I don't know. So I'm a little bit hurt because I could have named many a players I'd much rather had than fucking Vincent Jackson.
Yeah.
The Austin Safarian-Jenkins, I actually had him on my board. So I am mad about that.
Yeah.
That was going to be my backup tight end because I actually think he's going to have a great year. If he can stay healthy, I think he'll have a really good year. Because I got Delaney starting for me, dude, and I'm probably going to play him most of the season, considering, he's healthy all year, which I don't see why not. And if he is, he'll probably play most of the season. So I'm only going to really need my backup tight end on the week that Delaney's on bye, which is 13. And if he starts busting ass, I may throw him in my flex. Because I played 2 tight ends, one started and one in the flex last year when I had Gronk and Gary Barnidge, and I cleaned up house in that league.
Yeah.
I finished like 3rd that league.
That makes sense. Yeah,
so, I mean, I won't hesitate to throw a tight end in the flex if he's, like, doing some shit. So, I'm not against the backup tight end.
You are on the clock, by the way.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, you don't want to get on that auto draft again.
Yeah, dude. I'm actually probably going to take it to the chin on running backs. I probably do need one more, though.
Take it to the limit. 10 seconds. What will he do? Take Philip Dorsett. You know it. Oh, CJ Procise. You know I love that. Golden Domer.
Yeah. That's what they call him.
I'm that guy. Every group has one, and I'm the Notre Dame fan. If you couldn't tell by how big of an asshole I am.
Oh, this is what I should have told.
Oh, Tony Romo. That's what's up, man. Yeah, get him.
Bro, why are you trying to be funny, bro?
You know you want it. You know you want that Tyrod Taylor, Tony Romo combo. You should. That's what you should have done, is waited and gone back-to-back quarterbacks late. Just get you. I tell you about that time I went to the championship game playing Jeff Garcia at quarterback for the entire season.
Yeah. I had him when I was like 14.
Consistency will get it done sometimes. I
had Jeff Garcia when he played with Terrell in San Francisco, dude.
Martellus Bennett in New England. That's crazy. Why would he go? I don't know. Whatever. Want to be Gronk's backup. That's what you do. Mohamed Sanu, or Nelson. It feels like slim pickings back here. This is going to be a season where you're going to want to do some homework to draft, because I think you're going to be better off trying to find some young talent that's been doing well in the preseason. Something's got to. I don't know. There's not a lot to pick from right here. No gems. Not
running back.
Seeing a lot of sleepers.
Dude, the running backs are just, I don't know what it is, but most of the running backs feel like just boo-boo to me. I don't know if it's just like the fact that they do like the whole dual back thing now or what, man, but
that's definitely got to be part of it. I also just see a lack of. There weren't a lot of stud running backs last year. I mean, you had your Devontae Freeman. You just had a lot of decent, consistent running backs. It's also, I think, in part it's to the change of the league. We are getting to a point where that upper echelon of quarterback, it's not just 3 and 4 guys now. That they're 7 or 8 quality quarterbacks, and so those are all going to be pass heavy teams. And even with some of these, like Chip Kelly coming in, you got some of the more of these spread offenses being run where it's just not – it's difficult for an NFL running back to run out of the shotgun, because these guys are all pros and they can react better and more quickly. You're not seeing a lot of draws out of the shotgun in the NFL.
Right.
That's why for so long they couldn't run the option in the NFL. It didn't work. They were quick enough where even if you did fool them, it didn't matter.
Right.
Now, where we're at here, I see Pierre Garçon on the board, and I think I might be taking him off. No, people went and drafted defenses. I already missed the boat on the defenses, so I'm going to take – it's another week 9, and I already have Shawn. So, no, I'm glad I looked at it for a second. Would have been a very bad call on my part. Anquan in Detroit. That's interesting. The same bye week as T.Y. I don't like that. I've got some receivers. I'm not going receiver again. Let's go. I'm going to mess around and draft this guy, Marcus Mariota.
Nice, dude.
Got a decent backup. In case I'm wrong about Andrew Luck and the Colts don't have a great season, this guy could have some upside. I probably should have went with Raggedy Andy. Could have had both Andys. Could have had the red rocket, red rifle. The red rocket, I think, is much better, more appropriate. I kind of see Andy Dalton as kind of like a walking boner. Speaking of hard-ons, you're up.
I'm going red rocket for my back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Slinging that.
Dude, he put on a show for me.
Shawn's getting his Red Wings tonight.
No, dude.
Balls deep. There's just a lot of innuendo going on here.
No.
Where are you going? Defense? Take the Colts defense, man. I'm telling you, you got to go with the Colts on that. Got to do it.
Going Jags.
Jacksonville Jags. I don't mind that. They're going to be a good defense this year. I believe it.
That is it.
I believe. All right, so now it's time for me to take a defense. And
go Raiders, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Do it for me, dude.
I just don't know about that right now.
They might be good, man.
They might. They're the highest rated defense that's left. Actually, I'm gonna make you happy here, because they also may end up playing in the worst offensive division in football, like as far as their opponents. 2 games against the Broncos, 2 games against the Chiefs. I like that. I like those 4 games for me.
Right.
Of at least they're not losing any points. I'm getting at least 15 points on those games.
Our pass rushing is just going to be sick this year. I'm telling you, we're going to sacks out the ass. I'm calling it right now, dude.
You heard it here first.
Sacks
out the ass is what the Raiders will get, which I believe will be a league record. That is not something I've seen since Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
He got sacked out the ass so hard he fumbled. The butt fumble.
Yeah, buddy.
Which is funny because the last time I saw that play was in the Little Giants, and Rick Moranis' team ran it a lot better than Rex Ryan's team, so that goes to show you why the Little Giants was in my top movies. That's what we need is who's your icebox out there, Shawn? Who's going to be your fly around?
Well, on the Raiders defense?
No, just yeah, sure. I just wanted to throw in a Little Giants reference. That's all.
Probably Khalil Mack, bro.
Yeah.
Mac Daddy on
He
that
be
ass.
smacking Max.
Right.
Khalil Mack.
I think he'll break JJ Watt's record this year. I think it might happen, man.
I think you might be drinking your own Kool-Aid a little too much, man. I don't know about your Raiders like that.
Dude,
you're gonna be
Khalil Mack was 1 sack short of tying JJ Watt last year.
All right.
And that was when he was like the sole fucking pass rusher.
When he was so man.
Like now we got Bruce Irvin, a couple rooks who might be nice. Shalik Calhoun from Michigan State.
Fucking name dropper.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be some dogs.
Don't be that guy.
Carl Joseph.
I know you're just hiding your phone on the other side of your pants.
Nah, bro.
You got the Raiders defense on Google.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I know your tricks. Eric Ebron. Do I take the backup tight end? I don't love anything I got here. So this dude could score some points. Matt Stafford's got to throw it to somebody. So maybe he'll probably just sit on the bench. But with Gronk's history, it probably is a good idea to have somebody there to back him up. Ooh, you getting your kicker all queued up?
Yeah, bro.
This is the exciting part, folks. This is where we can really just start to wrap it up. Shawn's got one more pick, and then it's going to be kickers, and nobody cares about kicker analysis. So I'm going to start thanking you guys now for tuning in. Shawn has been locked in ever since he got on auto pick. So we do appreciate you joining us here. It's coming up soon. Ooh, he's about to finish. So we got, what do you got left on this last one? Before we do that kicker, who'd you take?
Chris Boswell.
Oh, you took your kicker first. Ooh. Chris Boswell, the new boss. I hope this guy comes around and like takes his t-shirt sleeves and wears them around his head when he's out there with like some blonde frosted tips out there kicking extra points in warm-ups, just like with a cutoff, like one of those Zeke cutoffs that shows his belly. Because that was the original. That was a Bosworth thing. Zeke gets a lot of credit for that, but that's been done.
Boom, bang, bang.
That's not anything that's new to the party.
Shawn Matthews, bro.
Oh, man, and this is the part that's rough because, I mean, just so many options at kicker. Where do you go? I mean, a solid kicker pick could make or break your draft. Look, I mean, see that Falia guy thought about it for 3 seconds before he made a pick. See, this is the kind of stuff that you will only get here on the Bad Dinner Guest Network, an authentic breakdown of how important. I can't even finish. That's usually not a problem for me. Brandon McManus or, Matt Bryant. He deserves my pick.
I thought about getting him down last year, and he was kind of poopy.
Well, you try kicking field goals when you're 50. It's not easy to kick field goals with a plastic hip.
Trust me, I know, bro. We got Bash on our team. Bash, dog.
Bash,
brother.
All right, so here's the breakdown. You wanna let us hear yours first because I have the visual reference over here to help me.
Honestly, dude, my team is pretty poopy, but I do got some highlights. Thing about doing these mocks, man, we don't really do our research like we would normally would. So we were just kind of going off what was available. And
softballing it right now.
And what we thought,
just tiptoeing around it.
What we thought would do something. So I'll tell you right now, my receiving core is nasty. Got Amari Cooper, AJ Green starting. I have Vincent Jackson on the bench, but he's getting dropped. But I got Rashard Matthews, as a backup. And I'll probably end up picking another receiver off the free agency waiver.
I don't know, man.
So
Devin Funchess.
Oh, there's some dudes out there.
Some Funchess among us.
Teddy Ginn's still out there, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, Teddy Ginn. All right.
Yeah, Teddy Ginn.
You had fun with that, yeah.
Last year, he was the number 1 receiver. And that's what Cam Newton does. Don't be fucking hating on Ted Ginn, bro.
I'm going to hate on Ted Ginn because if he caught half the passes that were thrown his way, he could have been the MVP last year.
Oh, well. He caught enough to be a dog.
Ted Ginn, old pan hands.
Yeah.
Gotta love him. Ted Ginn is that guy in The Replacements. Orlando Jordan play him. What was that guy's name?
Oh, yeah, dude. I can't remember.
Or the kid in The Little Giants. Once again, see, that's how great The Little Giants was. The Replacement just straight stole their move. Like, yeah, you know that thing that those little kids did? We're going to do that, but we're going to do it in The Replacements. So that's, and that's what what I was getting at was that what the Panthers need to do. Cam needs to be like, hey, look, man, there's this dude named Jerry Rice. And he used to rub Stickum on his gloves. And I think you should rub some Stickum on your gloves. And then you could at least be a better Ted Ginn. Here I am. I'm just advocating cheating, I guess, today. That's what I'm saying, apparently. Let them put Stickum on their hands. Let them take steroids because that's more entertaining to me, damn it. Give them what they want. So is that how your analysis? You got anything else you want to any wisdom you want to impart? Or a thing you want to roster bait to?
Just make sure you're watching your bye weeks, man, because I do have a lot of, similar bye weeks. But, dude, it honestly feels like to me a lot of teams are bunched up with bye weeks, man. I was looking up and down this, list, and just so many teams have the same bye weeks, 7s, 8s, 10s, 13s. They're everywhere. So, I mean, it's kind of – tough, man.
That's all part of it. Nobody has a bye the first 4 weeks, and so that makes it a little extra difficult. But what happens is essentially, I think what you're trying to get at is you're not going to be able to only draft players from good teams here. The key to having a good draft, I believe, is being able to find a couple of key guys on some teams you probably don't think are going to win games.
Yeah.
But guys that can put up some numbers for you because you're not going to be able to just draft off of only good teams because, for instance, our favorite team, on week 10, I don't know what we're going to do. If it weren't for fantasy football, we wouldn't neither you or myself would be watching.
Right.
Because the Colts and the Raiders are on bye that week. So, for instance, if you had one of my two, if you ended up with Andrew Luck you have 2 Raiders, but, so if you're a different player, you can't draft Andrew Luck and Amari Cooper essentially, or maybe you could risk it, but there are some downsides there. You're going to have some mismatches. Make sure though that your backups don't have the same bye weeks as your starters, and make sure that you don't have. I try to set the cap at 2. I try to never have any more than 2 people with the same bye week because that's a little bit easier to work around. You have a pretty deep bench. I will say I like my team. I don't like the bench at all.
No.
I like Mariota. Ebron is, I guess, a decent bench player when you consider that you have Gronk. If Gronk stays healthy, I won't even need him. Forsett and Ingram in a league that apparently is turning away from running back, fantasy leagues going as the running backs go. It's no longer top heavy with talent, so I feel okay with guys like Ingram and Forsett, who I think will get the majority of the goal line carries for their team. They're going to get they can catch the ball in the backfield. Luck, I think, is my difference maker. If he's anything close to what he was before last year, I think this team could easily make the playoffs in a 12-team league.
Yeah.
If something happens to Jamal Charles, I happen to have Wes ready to go. And if something doesn't, I happen to have the Jamal Charles handcuff play. So someone, even if I don't play him in my starting lineup, if Charles gets dinged up, somebody may be wanting to trade me for him. I may end up getting some good value in the season for a player that would just sit on my bench otherwise.
I feel it. Honestly, dude, in my opinion, your best pick was that Raiders defense.
Of course it was.
I feel like that's going to be probably a highlight.
Because you're like the minor league baseball color commentator out here. You're just all about it,
I'm just messing with you.
I know you are, but I gotta give that back to you. You've been a real homer tonight, and I'm okay with that. That is part of a strategy. You want to like your fantasy team.
When you're so used to your team sucking year after year, and it finally gets to a point in your life where they're kind of good, and they may be really good, you're going to be feeling that vibe, dude.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm fucking feeling that vibe.
Are you, yeah?
Yeah.
Really? That's something you thought you needed to tell a Cubs fan?
Yeah. I did. Well, I wasn't thinking baseball. But, yeah, dude, you know how it is.
Oh, I think I know a thing or two about that.
Absolutely. But, yeah, I'm really, really happy about him. I mean, honestly, dude, you got to be proud of me, though, because you played fantasy football with me last year, and you know I had like 4 or 5 fucking Raiders on my team. And I'm not making that mistake again. As much as I love the Raiders, I told myself before the year started, I'm like, I'm only doing 2 players from that team, and I already knew who they were.
Yeah.
And I was like, if they don't fall to me, then I'm not picking Raiders.
And that's the thing. You got what you wanted. When I set out, I wanted Randall Cobb. I got him at a value where I wanted him. Mark Ingram, I'm happy with. I wanted Andrew Luck. I got him at a value that was a price I was okay to pay.
Right.
Because last year to get Andrew Luck, you had to take him in the 2nd or 3rd round, and I got him, I believe, in the 5th. It might have been I'm pretty sure it was the 5th.
It was late,
and I am totally okay with getting if your choices are get a guy this guy was scoring 40 points a week at times 2 years ago. If you get a guy that can occasionally do that, if you can get a Ben Roethlisberger in the 5th or 6th round instead of waiting to take a quarterback in the 10th round, it could be an advantage.
Right.
It's really a personal preference on that. But when you see all these receivers going so highly, it kind of makes you think that some quarterbacks might jump off the board a little bit earlier than what we're used to seeing.
I mean, I took Card kind of early. In all honesty, I probably could have waited another round if not 2 and picked him up. But my thing was, like you said, with the shit being kind of ass backwards this year, I didn't want to take the chance.
Well, and I think that you bring up a good point, because a lot of times people make the argument of, you should, they're so fundamental about it. Like, you don't take a quarterback until round 7. And my thing is that you look at it in an instant, in a situation where you take it as the value. Is that value what you're willing to pay for that? Like if you're okay with taking your quarterback in the 6th round, if that's what works, if that seems like a good value pick, or you get the player that you want, but you have to take him a round or 2 earlier than you thought, who cares? You got the player that you wanted. Ultimately, it may not matter if you took him in the 6th round instead of the 8th round where you wanted to take him. Get the guy that you want. If you think he's going to have a good year. There are some names up here I didn't expect to see still. Like, for instance, seeing Jason Witten go undrafted kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
I thought he would have had the name power. But, again, that's what happens when a lot of people drop out. That's not going to be happening in your real league. I would be very surprised if I saw guys like Ted Ginn, even Stevie Johnson, and especially Jason Witten not get drafted. I wouldn't be surprised. See, in the leagues I play in, Jameis Winston, Fitzpatrick, and Tannehill, those guys probably would have gotten drafted. I'm kind of shocked to see all 3 of them. Fitzpatrick could very well end up being another great waiver wire pickup for somebody at some point this year.
Dude, I'm noticing a lot of rooks going undrafted, man. Like fucking Pharaoh Cooper. I think he's going to be solid. Braxton Miller might even put up some numbers, man.
Yeah, and again, just keep in mind that all these people switched to auto draft. So their teams are all really wonky because they just got best available most times, filled the openings. So there are a lot of these people won't be sitting there like that. But overall, this was a good time. This was a good learning experience, and hopefully we can get Lou at least. We're gonna get more and more people involved in these, bring in extra perspective, extra point of view, and it makes it more fun. We can interact. So I've got nothing else really about this team. I'm over it. This draft was pretty cool. Shawn, any last little things that you've got about it?
No, man. I think I pretty much said my piece. Just watch out for your running backs. I mean, the running back game this year is pretty soft. So just try to just go by your best instinct. Like if you feel like you should pick a back early, pick them. But if you feel like you could just wait and get a better value later, and you could pick, top tier receivers early, whatever, man. Like this is going to be a year of people switching up strategies. I can already tell. Like it's just from the way I saw the draft board was lined up. Like it's going to be, because there's always those few people in your league who are going to go best available. So they're going to end up getting people just because they're at the top
ranking
of the list.
Slaves. Yep, yeah, absolutely. Well, so we had a good time bringing this to you guys, and stay tuned. We will have another sports episode coming up here within the week. Stick around for a bonus 60 grid episode and bonus Bad Dinner Guest episode this weekend. We'll be seeing you guys soon. Nighty night.